Youth Parliament is a platform for our young parliamentarians to discuss the ongoing issues in the country. Youth Parliament is designed by the Parliamentary Ministry of Affairs and it was first started in the year 1962. Our school is today organizing its 12th session of Youth Parliament.
Fantastic! We'll take off with the oath-taking ceremony. Next up is the introductions of our new ministers, where the Prime Minister will introduce our new ministers. Following that, we'll dive into the question hour. This is where it gets interesting, where you get to see our representatives ask questions and seek answers from the ministers. We're also expecting a message from the upper chamber. Then we will be visited by the French parliamentary delegations. I think I forgot. What's next on the list?
Looks like the list took a little vacation off from your memory. But why scare when I'm around?
Sure, then go ahead.
A calling attention motion is a move by a member to call the attention of a minister to a specific matter that requires urgent importance. It is typically used for urgent matters.
Do you mean urgent matters?
Exactly. It is an Indian innovation in the parliamentary procedures. Then comes the legislative business.
Maitri, what is legislative business exactly?
It is the law-making process. Today, in our legislative business, we will introduce a bill and debate on another bill which has already been passed by the youth parliamentarians.
संसद की बात हो और मैं चुप रहूं, ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता। एक आदमी रोटी बेलता है, एक आदमी रोटी खाता है, एक तीसरा आदमी भी है जो ना रोटी बेलता है ना रोटी खाता है, वह सिर्फ रोटी से खेलता है। मैं पूछता हूं, यह तीसरा आदमी कौन है? मेरे देश की संसद मौन है, पर अब और नहीं, वक्त आ गया है जवाब जानने का।
धूबिल जी की यह कविता हर दौर की असलियत को बयान करती है।
सही कहा, there are problems and issues, but there will always be solutions too. Our parliament provides a platform for these solutions through debates and discussions.
Now, without any further delay, let's kickstart the 12th session of St. Thomas School Youth Parliament with a huge round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. I, Kavish Dogra, welcome you all to STS News, reporting live outside from the Youth Parliament, debating upon Child Drug Abuse Mitigation and Prevention Bill. Drug abuse, an emerging problem amongst the teenagers of India, leading to poor grades and poor memory. According to few reports, around 20% of the 10th graders and 30% of the 12th graders are addicted to drugs. Let us see what measures our respected leaders and ministers will take and what questions the opposition party will ask to the ruling party. For more updates, please stay connected to our reporter, Ms. Anushka Singh. Thank you.
Thank you, Kavish. Now, let us see what the members of the Youth Parliament would like to say on this. With me, now I have the Minister of the Opposition, Soumya Singh. Hello, ma'am. What specific measures are being proposed by the opposition in the upcoming session to address the major issue of drug abuse?
मैम, हमारा दृढ़ मत है कि इस बिल का पुनः चिंतन किया जाए, सिलेक्टेड कमेटी इसका पुनः मूल्यांकन करे और हमारा विपक्ष और हमारी सत्ताधारी सरकार साथ मिलकर ठीक तरीके से इस गंभीर विषय को संबोधित कर पाएं। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, ma'am. Now with me I have the Minister of State for Family and Health Welfare, Ms. Avanya Sharma. Madam, given that this is your first term as a minister, how do you plan on taking up the issues that you seem to care about the most?
Well, first of all, I would like to take up surveys in all over the country so as to know what are the needs of the people. Secondly, I would try and make sure that the laws implemented by the government are well known to the people so that they can take full use of them. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, let us see how the proposed topics are being taken up in today's session.
Marshall.
Greetings to all the members. Let us begin the business of the House. Members to take the oath of affirmation. Secretary General, please.
Ms. Shreya Gupta, who stands elected from the Pali constituency of Rajasthan, will now take the oath or affirmation. Ms. Shreya Gupta. Madam, do you want to take oath or affirmation?
Affirmation, please.
In which language would you like to take the affirmation?
In English, please.
I.
I, Shreya Gupta, having been elected as a member of the ruling youth parliament, have been here. Okay. I, Shreya Gupta, having been elected as a member of the lower house of the youth parliament, do affirm that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India and that applied by the law of India, and that to uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter. Thank you.
Ms. Mannat Kaur, who stands elected from the Ajnala constituency of Amritsar, Punjab, will now take the oath or affirmation. Ms. Mannat Kaur. Madam, do you want to take oath or affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would you like to take the oath?
पंजाबी प्लीज़।
मैं
सरदारनी मन्नत कौर जौहर जो युवा संसद ਦੀ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਚੁਣੀ ਗਈ ਹਾਂ ਰੱਬ ਦੀ ਸਹੁੰ ਖਾਨੀ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਸਥਾਪਿਤ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਸੰਵਿਧਾਨ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਸੱਚੀ ਸ਼ਰਧਾ ਤੇ ਨਿਸ਼ਠਾ ਰੱਖਾਂਗੀ ਅਤੇ ਜਿਸ ਅਹੁਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਸੰਭਾਲਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਹਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਕਰਤੱਵਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਰਧਾਪੂਰਵਕ ਨਿਭਾਵਾਂਗੀ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ।
Ms. Alia Arif, who stands elected from the Khirji constituency of Ranchi, Jharkhand, will now take the oath or affirmation. Ms. Alia Arif. Madam, do you want to take the oath or affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would you like to take the oath?
Hindi, please.
मैं आलिया आरिफ जो युवा संसद के सदस्य निर्वाचित हुई हूँ ईश्वर की शपथ लेती हूँ कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगी, देश की प्रभुता एवं अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगी तथा जिस पद को मैं ग्रहण करने जा रही हूँ उसके कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक निर्वहन करूंगी।
Ms. Jigisha Sinha, who stands elected from Jalpaiguri constituency, West Bengal, will now take the oath or affirmation. Ms. Jigisha Sinha. Madam, do you want to take oath or affirmation?
Oath, please.
In which language would you like to take the oath?
Bengali, please.
मैं
আমি জিগিষা সিনহা যুব সংসদের সদস্য নির্বাচিত হইয়া ঈশ্বরের নামে শপথ করিতেছি যে বিধি দ্বারা স্থাপিত ভারতের সংবিধান প্রতি অকৃতম নিষ্ঠা ও অনুগত পোষণ করিব। আমি ভারতের সার্বভৌমত্ব অখণ্ডতা রক্ষা করব এবং যে কর্তব্যভার আমি গ্রহণ করিতে উদ্যত হইয়াছি তাহা নিষ্ঠাপূর্বক নির্বাহ করিব। ধন্যবাদ।
Prime Minister, to introduce new ministers, please.
Madam Speaker, I have pleasure in introducing to you and through you my colleagues, the new ministers, Miss Minister of Earth Sciences, Miss Palak, Minister of Labor Employment, Miss Hana, Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs, Miss Kanak, Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Miss Hargun. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Now the question hour starts. Question number 101, Mr. Ansh Dwivedi, please.
धन्यवाद महोदया। सत्ता के सिंहासन पर बैठे जो अभिमानी भूल गए हैं जनता की पीड़ा और कहानी। वादों के महल बनाए थे जो सुनहरे ढलने लगे हैं आज वह धीरे धीरे। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष महोदया, आज मैं इस सदन का ध्यान प्रश्न पत्र पेपर लीक की बढ़ती समस्याओं की ओर आकर्षित करना चाहता हूं। हाल ही में हुए नीट यूजी परीक्षा के बारे में तो हम सभी जानते होंगे, मगर हमारी सरकार ने उसके अलावा भी कई और जगह भ्रष्टाचार और गैर जिम्मेदाराना व्यवहार का खाता खोल रखा है। यूजीसी नेट पेपर लीक, इंडियन आर्मीज कॉमन एग्जामिनेशन पेपर लीक, सीटेट 2023 पेपर लीक, व्यापम स्कैम, गुजरात हेड क्लर्क एग्जामिनेशन पेपर लीक, राजस्थान यूनिवर्सिटी एग्जामिनेशन पेपर लीक, और भी बहुत लंबी लिस्ट है महोदया। ऐसा लगता है कि सरकार इस देश में दो तरीके के आईपीएल खेल रही है। पहला, जिसमें गेंद और बल्ले का खेल होता है, जिसे हम इंडियन प्रीमियर लीग बोलते हैं, और दूसरा जिसमें युवाओं के भविष्य के साथ खेल होता है, जिसे हम इंडियन पेपर लीग बोल सकते हैं। महोदया, अभी हाल ही में एक और घटना सामने आई है। एक ट्रेनी आईएएस पर जाली प्रमाण पत्र पेश करने का आरोप लगा है। इन सब घटनाओं को देखते हुए मुझे तो यह डर है कि यूपीएससी जैसी विश्वसनीय संस्थानें भी इस भ्रष्टाचार की चपेट में ना आ जाएं। इन घटनाओं ने देश भर के शिक्षकों, अभिभावकों और छात्रों के बीच गंभीर चिंता पैदा कर दी है। माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदया, आपके माध्यम से मैं सरकार से यह पूछना चाहता हूँ कि प्रश्न पत्र पेपर लीक की बढ़ती समस्याओं के संदर्भ में सरकार ने क्या कदम उठाए हैं। क्या दोषियों के खिलाफ सख्त कार्रवाई करने के लिए कोई विशेष समिति या टास्क फोर्स गठित की गई है। एनटीए, नेशनल टेस्टिंग एजेंसी ने अपनी विश्वसनीयता खो दी है। हजारों लाखों बच्चों का भविष्य धर में डाल दिया है।
Honorable member, kindly wind up.
श्याम मैम, हजारों लाखों बच्चों का भविष्य धर में डाल दिया है। सरकार ने इस संस्था के कामकाज पर पारदर्शिता लाने और भविष्य में ऐसी घटनाओं को रोकने के लिए क्या किया है।
Honorable Minister of Education, Ms. Riddhi Jain, please.
Greetings to Honorable Speaker, Madam. I want to get one thing straight. The government is not just sitting on its hands while
Honorable member, kindly address to the Speaker.
Sure, ma'am. I shall address to the Speaker that we The government is not just sitting on its hands while exams are getting leaked. To claim otherwise is not just misleading, but a complete distortion of reality. First off, we have implemented Public Examinations Prevention of Unfair Means Act 2024. We are talking serious consequences here. Anyone caught up tampering with our examination processes can face up to 10 years in prison and fines up to 1 crore. This law sends a clear and unequivocal message that we will not tolerate any compromise on the integrity of our examinations.
कुछ करना होता तो प्रलय होने से पहले करना था.
Mananiya
Member,
Mahodaya,
please
can you
maintain the
please let
decorum
me
of the
finish?
House.
Mananiya Mahodaya, can you please first let me finish? I will get back to you. Next off, NTA. National Testing Agency is getting full overhaul to ensure that our examination processes is held in its highest level of security, integrity, and efficiency. Let's talk about technology. We have introduced encrypted question papers, biometric verification, and real-time monitoring of our examination centers. Sure, there have been challenges, there have been consequences, and there have been issues. But to claim that government is doing nothing is just plain wrong. We are making sure that our students can pursue their dreams without the fear of their competitions getting into unfair practices. We are making sure that our examination system is rock solid. We are making sure that our students can pursue their dreams without the fear of getting into unfair practices. We are on it, and thank you so much.
Next question, question number 102. Miss Shifa, please.
Greetings to Speaker Madam and the esteemed members of the Youth Parliament. Elon Musk once stated that the future of humanity depends on our ability to secure the digital infrastructure. Today, we stand in a crucial moment in the conversation about cybercrime and cybersecurity. Every minute as we speak, cybercrimes, frauds, scams are taking place all over the internet. Every year, 31% of Indians lose their money to cyber attacks, and that accounts to almost 500 million people. Stats suggest that 17.5 billion rupees were lost to frauds in just the first 4 months of the year 2024. Do we even realize how horrific the situation is right now and how badly it is going to affect our economy? Today, I want to question the ruling party. When will these crimes stop? It seems as if the government is very comfortably sleeping, but it's high time that they wake up. The government only blocked 3.2 lakh SIM cards to prevent identity theft and phishing. Do you think that is enough? Because I don't think it's nearly enough. Who is going to introduce updated cybercrime policies and laws?
Honorable Member, kindly wind up.
Yes, ma'am, just a minute. Who is going to introduce updated cybercrime laws and policies, bring a dedicated ministry to cybersecurity, and introduce strict penalties? Along with the advancement in crimes, we have to be one step ahead. But the question remains, when will the government take off the blindfold of its eyes? When will they take extra initiatives? Do you have anything to say on this?
Honorable Minister of Information Technology, Ms. Jigyasa, please.
Greetings to Honorable Speaker Madam and my fellow members. इस संसार में अर्जुन की तरह श्रेष्ठ बनने के लिए एक दृढ़ संकल्प एवं विश्वास की जरूरत होती है। उसी दृढ़ संकल्प और विश्वास के साथ हमारी प्रधानमंत्री महोदया कहती हैं कि हम एक ऐसे डिजिटल इंडिया का सपना देखते हैं।
Honorable Member, kindly maintain the decorum of the House.
ठहरिए महाशय, थोड़ा सब्र तो रखिए। आपके सभी प्रश्नों का उत्तर मैं विगतवार दूंगी। जहां साइबर सुरक्षा हमारी राष्ट्र सुरक्षा का अभिन्न अंग बन जाए और इसके लिए हम निरंतर प्रयास करते रहेंगे। Through you, Honorable Speaker Madam, I want to tell the opposition that for the prevention of cybercrime, we have made several policies and expert group. One of them is CERT 2014, which is now updated to 2022. Our government launched NCFL in Dwarka, New Delhi, which became the India's top most forensic lab in all over the country. We also launched cybercrime helpline number 1930, attending 45 to 50,000 calls per day.
Honorable Minister, please wind up.
Yes, ma'am, winding up. इससे एक सवाल तो लाजमी है विपक्ष से कि 2014 से पहले सरकार तो विपक्ष की थी। मैं उनसे पूछना चाहूंगी कि साइबर क्राइम के लिए ऐसी कौन सी नियम एवं योजनाएं बना दी थी जिससे लोग अपने आप को समय साइबर क्राइम सुरक्षित समझ सके। साइबर क्राइम तो तब भी होते थे जनाब और अब भी होते हैं, बस फर्क इतना है कि हमारी सरकार उसके लिए निरंतर प्रयास कर रही है। विपक्ष कहते हैं कि हमारे प्रधानमंत्री सिर्फ सपना देखते हैं, लेकिन ये जितने भी नियम एवं कानून मैंने आप सभी के समक्ष प्रस्तुत की वो सारे हमारे ही प्रधानमंत्री जी के कार्यकाल में हुए हैं। उल्टा विपक्ष के प्रधानमंत्री तो मुंगेरी लाल के हसीन सपने ही देखते रह गए। इससे एक हिंदी की कहावत यहाँ चरितार्थ होती है, उल्टा चोर कोतवाल को डांटे। दूसरों पर उंगली उठाना बहुत आसान होता है जनाब, लेकिन अगर आप लोग खुद पर उंगली उठा लेते तो शायद आज विपक्ष में ना बैठे होते। अंत में मैं दो पंक्ति कहकर अपना स्थान ग्रहण करूंगी कि बिना सूरज के सहयोग के चांद अपनी रोशनी खो बैठता है, बिना दिए में तेल डाले दिया बुझ सा जाता है, वैसे ही बिना जनता के सरकारों का कोई वजूद नहीं रह जाता है। हमें जनता के सहयोग की पूर्ण जरूरत है ताकि हम साइबर सुरक्षा की राह में और प्रगति कर सके। धन्यवाद।
Next question, question number 103, Ms. Rudranshika, please.
I thank Honorable Madam Speaker for this opportunity. शिक्षित नारी का भी तिरस्कार हुआ, हर मोड़ पर उस पर प्रहार हुआ। काश पुरुष में भी थोड़ी सी स्त्री की कोमलता होती। क्या दिन आ गए हैं कि नारी को लगता है काश मैं भी एक पुरुष होती। Why do I say this? Because today I live in a nation where we talk about women empowerment, but 99% judges are male. 90% of the salary goes to men. The world has an average of 10 years of schooling for the girl child, but in India the number drastically drops to just 6 years. The government slogans Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao are not enough. If we still see cases like the Kolkata rape case, where a trainee doctor was brutally raped and murdered, the Chawla case, the infamous Nirbhaya case, the list goes on. The government doesn't understand, but it's time for Bete ko batao, Bete ko samjhao. These are just 3 cases, but such 1,256 cases were reported in our country's capital, Delhi, within the previous year itself, as per the NCRB report, and our government stays mute. पंचाली के हरण में जो सब चुप पाए जाते हैं, इतिहास के पन्नों में वह सब कायर कहलाए जाते हैं।
Honorable member, please wind up.
Yes, ma'am. In our country, there is no implementation of the Vishaka guidelines. There is no national law on marital rapes criminalization. And if I start taking out all the loopholes our government has, well then, Madam Speaker, the time stipulated to me would hardly be enough. We are a developing nation, but I say this in bold words, Madam, no country can develop after making the lives of women. 48% of our population a living nightmare. Madam, with your permission, I would find it pertinent to pose a question to the Minister of Women and Child Development that why, even after 77 years of independence, the pleas of women are left unheard. The real question, Madam, is that in which direction the government is willing to work. Will it ensure security of people like you and me? The nation asks, is this what we call a safe society?
Honorable Minister of Women and Child Development, Ms. Sara Mirza, please.
माननीय सभापति महोदया और युवा संसद सदस्यों, मैं विपक्ष के सदस्यों का आभार प्रकट करती हूं जिन्होंने आज हमसे यह सवाल पूछा है। Honorable Speaker Madam, through you I would like to draw the attention to the asked question and put some light on it. To eradicate gender-based violence, we must address its root causes. While strict punishment for culprits may provide a short-term relief, a long-term solution requires empowering women financially. We have launched the Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. This scheme offers a lucrative interest rate of 8.5% per annum, enabling women to secure their financial future. Speaker Madam, for over 54 years since independence, the opposition had been in power. But it was our government who took a historic stand against the oppressive practice of triple talaq.
Despite its widespread adoption in the Islamic community, we recognize its horrifying impact it had on women's life. It is a testament to our commitment to gender equality and social justice.
Honorable Minister, please wind up.
Yes, madam. माननीय सभापति महोदया, हम निरंतर कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि महिलाओं को सशक्त कर एक कोडिफाइड यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड लाया जाए, पर एक जगह विपक्ष है जिनको सिर्फ अपने वोट बैंक बचाने की पड़ी है. Additionally, when the opposition cried foul over marital rape, it was our Karnataka government who took a bold stand in the Supreme Court in early 2023, advocating for its criminalization for this disheartening and less paid attention marital rape act. Thank you.
Yes.
Respected Madam, I would like to raise one supplementary question, please.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Madam. Since the doctor's safety is the most crucial and an important situation in our country, so my question is, why is this happening? What are they doing to prevent such mishappening, to stop the sexual harassment of women and male doctors at Workplace Act of 2013, when some existing organizations are afraid to establish the functional ICCs? Thank you.
Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare, please.
Greetings, Madam Speaker. Through you, I would like to tell the opposition that not only is the Indian government undertaken a multifaceted approach towards mitigating the harassment of doctors as well as safeguarding the dignity of women, particularly in response to the egregious case of Kolkata. Central to this effort, the implementation and rigorous enforcement of the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2013, colloquially known as the POSH Act. This act mandates the establishments of ICCs in all workplaces. To close up the gaps in the provisions of the act, the government is constantly taking measures such as raising severe penalties, legal repercussions, and public censor. In collaboration with non-government organizations, we have been organizing special training programs for members of ICC as well as employees so as to ensure that they are well versed of their roles under the ICC Act. In addition, we are amplifying the accountability within organizations through more draconian penalties, public naming, and shaming of the defaultees. Thank you.
Question number 104, Ms. Soumya, please.
घर बनाने का तसव्वुर रखते हो, आओ पहले इस घर की एक मजबूत नींव रखी जाए. सभापति महोदया और संसद के माननीय सदस्यों, प्रधानमंत्री जी की सैकड़ों बार थपथपाई गई बेंच के बीच बजट पेश किया गया. मैं पूछना चाहती हूं कि आपने मध्यम वर्ग, जो हिंदुस्तान की रीढ़ की हड्डी और हमारी 30% जनसंख्या है, आपने उसके लिए क्या किया? आप बात करते हैं न्यू मिडिल क्लास की, ओल्ड मिडिल क्लास के लिए क्या किया? आप उद्योगपतियों के कर्ज माफ कर रही हैं, मगर आज स्थिति ये है कि पेट्रोल डीजल तो बड़ी बात हो गई, सामान्य खाद्य पदार्थों के दाम भी आसमान छू रहे हैं. और हमने तो यहाँ तक सुना है कि हमारी माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी जिन चीज़ों का सेवन नहीं करती, उसके दाम से उनका मतलब तक नहीं. महोदया, ये देश, इस देश में 18% GST लगता है हमारी युवा पीढ़ी को शिक्षित करने के लिए, और नशीले पदार्थ 12% GST में भेजे जाते हैं. महोदय, ये सरकार झूठ की सरकार है, फरेब की सरकार है, इनके वादे झूठे हैं, इनके नारे झूठे हैं. ये सरकार फिल्में टैक्स फ्री करके कफन तक पे GST लगाती है, और ये गरीबों की, मध्यम वर्ग की बात करते हैं.
Honorable member, please wind up.
Just a minute, ma'am. फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2023-24 में 18% GST मिडिल क्लास से लिया गया. साहब, ये बोझ तब समझ में आता है जब देखा जाए कि उसी साल इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स की रिपोर्ट के अनुसार महंगाई का दर भी 6% बढ़ गया. Honorable Speaker, ma'am, through you, I would like to question our respected finance minister, जो मिडिल क्लास की होने के झूठे दावे भी करती हैं कि उनके द्वारा बनाया गया टैक्स स्लैब और मध्यम वर्ग पे थोपा गया GST किस प्रकार लाजमी है. सदन से आग्रह करती हूं कि मध्यम वर्ग की आवाज को सुना जाए, क्योंकि ऐसा प्रतीत होता है कि महंगाई ने उनसे बोलने का अधिकार भी छीन लिया है। महोदया, अंत बस इतना कह के करना चाहूंगी कि सत्ता का खेल तो चलेगा, सरकारें आएंगी जाएंगी, पार्टियां बनेंगी बिगड़ेंगी, मगर ये देश सर्वप्रथम है, ये देश रहना चाहिए, इस देश का लोकतंत्र अमर रहना चाहिए। धन्यवाद।
Minister of Finance, Ms. Anne Johnny, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Madam, for giving me the opportunity to answer the opposition. May I remind the opposition of the fact that my intentions never were, never are, and never will be to trouble the citizens of our country. I wish I could bring the taxes to zero, but the challenges faced by our country are so severe that we need to take steps to overcome them. I assure everyone present in this house today that by no means are we ignoring the cries of the middle class. Our government is trying its best to bring relief to the taxpayers of this country. I truly admire the passion with which the opposition is asking their questions and accusing the government. If only they could back up their accusations with some facts. Madam Speaker, through you, may I remind my fellow colleague of the fact that the standard deduction has been increased to rupees 75,000 from rupees 50,000, and the family pension for pensioners has increased to rupees 25,000 from rupees 15,000. This will provide relief to about 4 crore salaried individuals and pensioners. Also, due to the changes in the tax rate structure, a salaried employee will save up to rupees 17,500 in income tax. And when it comes about education, we have introduced a standardized education loan of up to rupees 10 lakh for the children of the middle class.
Honorable Minister, please wind up.
Ma'am, just a minute, ma'am. Apart from this, we have also introduced subsidized rates of interest for affordable housing loans, and we have also increased the amount for liberalization remittance schemes for the people who want to go abroad. The measures we have taken today are not just numbers on a sheet, but lifelines for millions of families, opportunities for our youth, and a foundation of a stronger and more resilient India. With this, Speaker Madam, I conclude my speech. Thank you.
Next question, question number 105, Mr. Akshat Singh, please.
Honorable Madam Speaker, I would like to draw the attention of the House towards the increasing disparities in coaching centers in our country. Recently, 3 innocent students tragically lost their lives due to the negligence of coaching centers in addressing the mental well-being of their students. How is the government going to answer to the parents of the students who resort to drastic measures due to the sheer negligence of coaching centers and government's own failures? What was the fault of the parents who sent their children there believing they are investing in quality education and a brighter future? These concerns have escalated so dramatically that web series like Quota Factory and many more are being produced to highlight them. Yet the government is too busy wasting taxpayers' money to do anything real about them. Madam Minister, what real mechanisms and strategies are in place to bolster the mental well-being of students subjected to intense stress due to the highly competitive environment of coaching centers, and also the strategies the government is devising to detect and rectify corruption within coaching centers, encompassing concerns related to financial practices, admissions, and bribery? Thank you, Madam.
Minister of Education, State, Ms. Subhi Pandey, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker Madam, for giving me this opportunity. To make coaching center a better place to study, we have already implemented guidelines released on 18 January 2024. Coaching center will ensure no more than 5-hour class a day and will also conduct remedial classes. We have introduced government counselors to the coaching centers. To prevent misleading advertisings, we have prohibited institutes from guaranteeing ranks or marks. Nearly 65 to 70% people all over India are in favor of coaching center, whereas 30 to 35% people are against the coaching center. As per the guidelines of January 2024, every institute must follow these rules. The study room must be open, well ventilated, and the building must comply with fire and building safety regulation. The institute must register themselves online and provide information like number of students per class, fees, teachers' qualification, and they should not enroll students below the age of 16. Last and most important, the coaching center shall be liable for the following penalties: rupees 25,000 for first offense, rupees 1 lakh for second offense, revocation of registration for subsequent offenses.
Honorable Minister, kindly conclude.
Sure, madam, kindly give me a minute. It is the responsibility of the opposition to look into the facts and then raise concern. Government is already taking necessary steps, and it is our motto: arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Thank you.
Now, the question hour is over. No more supplementary, please. Secretary General to report message from Upper Chamber of Youth Parliament.
Ma'am, I have to report the following message received from the Speaker of the Upper Chamber of the Youth Parliament in accordance with the provisions of Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in the Upper House of Youth Parliament. I am directed to enclose a copy of Jammu and Kashmir Local Bodies Law Amendment Bill 2024, which has been passed by the Upper Chamber at its sitting held on 5th February 2024.
Secretary General to lay on the table a copy of the bill as passed by the Upper Chamber of Youth Parliament.
Ma'am, I lay on the table of the House Jammu and Kashmir Local Bodies Law Amendment Bill 2024, which has been passed by the Upper Chamber.
Honorable members, I have to make an announcement. On my own behalf of the honorable members of the House, I have a great pleasure in extending a warm welcome to Her Excellency Ms. Yael Braun-Pivet, Speaker of the French Parliament, and the honorable members of the French parliamentary delegation, who are on visit to India as our honored guests. The other honorable members of the delegation are Ms. Olivia Ostergaard, Deputy Speaker, Catherine Leroy, Secretary General, Ms. Olivia, Deputy Speaker. It is very high-powered delegation. The delegation arrived on Monday, 20th August 2024. They are now seated in the special box. We wish them a happy and a fruitful stay in our country. We also convey our warm greetings and very best wishes through them to the Prime Minister of France, the French Parliament, the government, and the friendly people of the France. Thank you. Now, let us take up the calling attention motion. Ms. Sharanya, please.
Greetings, Speaker Madam. Our country had witnessed an alarming rise in the landslide in the recent years. The need of an hour is a comprehensive action plan to address the growing frequency of landslides in the ecologically fragile region. Speaker Ma'am, there has been a tragedy in Wayanad, Kerala, and I'm absolutely amazed that they are not allowing us to give a statement on this. Speaker Ma'am, thank you for permitting me. I'm speaking on Wayanad. In most 2 kilometers of the hill had just collapsed. A river of stones, a river of mud, more than 200 people are dead and a vast number of them are missing. आपको क्या मौतों की संख्या के बढ़ने का इंतजार है कि वहाँ और बड़े पैमाने पर लोगों की मृत्यु होगी तब आप साहित्य सामग्री भेजेंगे? आप कोई और बड़ी उन्नति चाहते हैं क्या?
Address to the speaker.
अपनी सीट पे बैठकर और नोट गिनने से कुछ नहीं होगा. Sorry, ma'am. The Gadgil report presented to the Union Ministry in 2011, it was supposed to be a wake-up call for the government. But still the government allowed rampant construction on hilltop without a holistic risk assessment. हमारे पास जो खबरें आ रही हैं वो एकदम सही हैं. ना जाने हमारे गृह मंत्री को क्या सुनाई दे रहा है. The AI warning system which was launched in July failed to alert the administrative system. The government often blames it on landslides as excessive rainfall and natural calamity. गांव-गांव के लोग मलबे में तब्दील हो रहे हैं, अपने लोगों को खो दिया, अपने घर बर्बाद कर दिए. What does the government has to say about this? And in Himachal Pradesh, the rapid infrastructure has caused deforestation, destroying the natural beauty of Himachal Pradesh. There has been a poor use of early warning system. Thousands of people have lost their life, their loved ones, their houses. What has the government done for the family of the deceased? I want the answer from the concerned minister today itself. Thank you, ma'am.
Honorable Minister of Home Affairs, Ms. Akshita Kataria, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, through you, I rise to address the calling attention motion on the recent crisis in Himachal Pradesh and Wayanad, Kerala. In Himachal Pradesh, unprecedented monsoon rains have caused devastating floods and landslides, resulting in significant loss of life and infrastructure damage.
On this issue, while the opposition was busy pointing fingers and playing blame games, our government acted decisively. We deployed over 10,000 personnel, including 45 NDRF teams, to conduct rescue and relief operations. We didn't hesitate to release rupees 1,000 crore from the PM's National Relief Fund and provided additional support through the State Disaster Response Fund. Restoration of several essential services, especially the vital Chandigarh-Manali highway, is already underway. We are focused on rebuilding homes, schools and health centers under central schemes, while also revising our disaster management strategies to enhance resilience and preparedness. Furthermore, in Wayanad, Kerala, the region faces severe agrarian distress compounded by environmental challenges. In response to this, our government has swiftly introduced a comprehensive debt release scheme with rupees 2,500 crore allocated to support farmers. We have also expanded the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana to help farmers against crop losses. Honorable Speaker, Madam, our commitment towards providing immediate relief while ensuring sustainable development and long-term recovery is unwavering. And now it's time for the opposition to realize that real leadership is about rolling up your sleeves and getting the work done and not just making noises from the comfort of their seats. Thank you.
Honorable Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare to introduce the bill. Ms. Avanya, please.
Madam, I beg to move for leave to introduce the Pharmacy Amendment Bill 2024 and the Indian Penal Code.
The question is that leave to be granted to introduce the bill further, the Pharmacy Amendment Bill 2024 and the Indian Penal Code. Those who are in favor will say aye. Those who are against it, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Leave is granted. Honorable Minister, please.
Madam, I introduce the bill.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, point of order, please.
Yes, Mr. Joshua.
Madam, my point of order is based on Rule 74 of the rule book. Rule 74 states that the Speaker can use his discretionary powers to introduce a bill on the same day without the bill being circulated and without the members reading it. This is your power, Madam, and I do not have any quibble on it. However, my simple point is that when we, who are the representatives of the people, when we are not given adequate time to read and understand the bill properly, it deprives us of our duty towards the nation. Madam, the people of this nation need justifiable laws.
Agree.
Madam, 30% of the bills have been passed with less than an hour of discussion since 2019, and less than 20% of these bills have been referred to the parliamentary committees for further scrutiny.
Stick to the Rule 74, sir.
Madam, it is your power to circumvent the bills, but it is very necessary to make all of these laws more effective. Thank you.
I got your point. I do admit that members need time to read and understand the bill, but there is a reason. There are only 2 days left. We have made an arrangement, so even after the minister introduces the bill, the members are given opportunity to give their suggestion in the bill amendment till 12:30 p.m. today. For the bills in the future, I'll talk to the concerned minister and give my more points. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam.
Now, the House will take up consideration of the Child Drug Abuse Mitigation and Prevention Bill 2024. Minister, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Madam. Through you, I would like to introduce the Child Drug Abuse Mitigation and Prevention Bill 2024, Bill number 012, Category Government Bill under the Health and Family Welfare Ministry. Date of introduction, 5th August 2024. Date of consideration, 23 August 2024. The use of drugs is often a response to unresolved trauma, a way of self-medicating. The true harm of drug abuse is not just in the chemicals themselves, but in the underlying pain and suffering they mask. This quote by Dr. Gabor Math serves very right today. Drug abuse remains a pressing issue globally, affecting millions of lives and straining healthcare systems. Addressing drug abuse requires a multifaceted approach, including prevention, treatment, harm reduction, and supportive policies. It also demands a compassionate understanding of the personal and societal factors contributing to addiction, as well as a commitment to improving systems of care and support for affected individuals. Keeping in mind the intensity of the challenges in the present scenario, the Government of India is going to take a historic move under the able Prime Minister. I feel immense pleasure to propose in this August House creation of new administrative body under the Central Drugs Standard Control Organization. Under the Government of India, the Drugs and Cosmetic Act 1940 and Drugs and Cosmetic Rules 1945. Chapter 1 Preliminary. Clause 2 Definition. Child minor. Any person below the age of 18 years. Drugs refers to any narcotic drug or psychotropic substance as defined under the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985. Juvenile, a person who is not yet legally considered an adult. In the context of this bill, a juvenile refers to any individual below the age of 18 years. The term is often used interchangeably with child or minor and pertains to individuals who are subject to different legal standards and protections compared to adults, particularly in the context of criminal justice and rehabilitation. Chapter 2. This system will be decentralized and centralized, with each state establishing its own drugs control authority under the CDSCO to enforce the Act's requirement, under decentralized system functioning under local monitoring units and coordination with central authorities. For centralized system, we have three subparts: Central Drugs and Standard Control Organization, Central Database, and National Helpline and Reporting System. Chapter 3. Central Drugs Standard Control Organization, which has already existed, shall appoint a Deputy Director for Child Drug Abuse Prevention, DCDAP, in each state, and the Commissioner for Drug Control, CDC, under appointed by the CDSCO. The responsibilities are as follows. Clause A. Focus specifically on issues related to drug abuse among children. Subclause B, develop and implement age-appropriate educational programs. Subclause C, coordinate with state and local agencies on child-specific initiatives. Subclause D, ensure the availability and accessibility of treatment and rehabilitation services for children in India. Chapter 4, Law Enforcement and Regulation. Prohibition of sale and distribution, Clause 1, Subclause A, setting a stringent guideline to prohibit the sale and distribution of drugs amongst adolescents. Subclause B, implement stringent penalties for individuals or entities found supplying drugs to adolescents. Clause 2, monitoring and enforcement. Subclause A, strengthen the capabilities of law enforcement agencies to monitor and enforce drugs laws, particularly in areas frequented by adolescents. Subclause B, establish a dedicated task force to combat drug use among adolescents. Adjudication. Clause A, special courts. Subclause A, establish special courts for the expeditious trial of offences related to drug use among adolescents. Subclause B, these courts shall ensure adolescent-friendly procedures and prioritize the welfare of the juvenile justice system. Clause 2, Juvenile Justice System. Subclause A, any adolescent found guilty of drug use shall be dealt with under the prohibition of the Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act 2015. Subclause B, emphasis shall be on rehabilitation and reintegration rather than punishment. Honorable Speaker, Madam, I strongly believe and have high hopes that the lower house will come together and table and vote upon this bill irrespective of their party affiliation for the welfare of the citizens of India.
Motion moved. that the bill to provide for more effective prevention of the Child Drug Abuse Mitigation Bill 2024 and for matters connected therewith or incidental there to be taken into consideration. Mr. Uday Arya, please.
धन्यवाद अध्यक्ष महोदया। आज सदन में बिल की चर्चा के दौरान प्रधानमंत्री जी की उपस्थिति एक दुर्लभ संयोग है। बिल के लिए ना सही, उनकी उपस्थिति के लिए मैं प्रशंसा अवश्य करूंगा। इस अस्पष्ट, अवास्तविक और विवरणहीन बिल का मैं विरोध करता हूं। ड्रग अब्यूज गंभीर विषय है। आंकड़ों के अनुसार 20 वर्ष से कम आयु के 13.1% भारतीय युवा ड्रग अब्यूज में इन्वॉल्व है। सरकार ने युवाओं से जुड़ी इस ज्वलनशील समस्या को सदन में अत्यंत गैर जिम्मेदाराना ढंग से प्रस्तुत किया। बिल में साफ उजागर होता है कि सरकार ने रेलिवेंट डेटा का अध्ययन, समस्याओं का मूल्यांकन, विशेषज्ञों से परामर्श और रिसर्च नहीं किया। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष महोदया, आपके माध्यम से मैं माननीय मंत्री जी से प्रश्न पूछना चाहता हूं। बिल की शुरुआत में एक नई समिति के गठन का प्रस्ताव रखा गया है। प्रश्न उठता है कि तमाम मंत्रालयों, विभागों और संस्थाओं के बावजूद हमें एक नई समिति की क्या आवश्यकता है? इसकी रणनीति और रोड मैप क्या होगा?
Honorable member, please wind up.
जी मैम। और दूसरा जरूरी प्रश्न बजट के अलोकेशन के विषय पर है। बिल के अनुसार स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण मंत्रालय द्वारा बजट अलोकेट किया जाएगा। मंत्रालय के कुल बजट का कितना प्रतिशत और किस आधार पर समिति को दिया जाएगा? समिति उसका किस तरह खर्च करेगी? अंत में मैं यही गुजारिश करूंगा कि सरकार दोषारोपण से हटकर सदन में सुझाव और चर्चाओं को सुने, समझे और फिर जो अनिवार्य बदलाव है बिल में लाए, जिससे सच्चे अर्थों में ये बिल ड्रग अब्यूज की समस्या के लिए कारगर सिद्ध हो। धन्यवाद।
Miss Navya, please.
With the permission of the Honorable Speaker, Madam, I would like to answer the question raised by the opposition party leader. औरों के ख्यालात की लेते हैं तलाशी और खुद के गरिबा में झांका नहीं जाता। मैडम, यह बिल सभी आवश्यक प्रक्रियाओं का पालन करते हुए प्रस्तुत किया गया है और इसमें सभी प्रासंगिक जानकारी और विवरण शामिल है। आज़ाद भारत के पूरे इतिहास में ऐसा पहली बार हुआ है कि कोई सरकार बच्चों में ड्रग अब्यूज की समस्या का समाधान निकालने का प्रयास कर रही है। The new evolving patterns of drug abuse require new updated approaches towards it for prevention, treatment and regulation. A dedicated commission will address more trends effectively. अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संस्थानों के साथ मिलकर इस कमीशन को और ज्यादा अपडेट करा जाएगा। स्कूलों में भी अलग अलग प्रोग्राम्स आयोजित करे जाएंगे टू रेज अवेयरनेस अमंग द यंगस्टर्स। बात अगर आती है बजट की, तो मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी दैट द बजट एलोकेशन हैज बीन डन वेरी केयरफुली टू इंश्योर दैट ऑल द की एरियाज आर एडिक्वेटली फंडेड। दिस बजट वुड कम फ्रॉम NGOs, कम्युनिटी कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस, ग्लोबल हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस एंड एक्सेट्रा। अंत में मैं बस ये कहना चाहूंगी कि जनाब, आप उम्मीदों के बारे में बात ना करें। आपने तो जनता को हमेशा ना उम्मीद ही छोड़ा है। हम जनता से किए गए सारे वादे पूरे करेंगे और उनकी उम्मीदों पर खड़ा उतरेंगे। ये हमारा वादा आपसे और जनता से है, जिन्होंने पूरे भरोसे के साथ आज हमें यहाँ पे बिठाया है। धन्यवाद।
Miss Devanshi, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Madam. Drugs are the way to suicide paid in installments. This saying is totally applicable, especially in the present scenario. Honorable Speaker, Madam, through you in the today's House, I would like to illuminate the major provenance of drug abuse, which has escaped the narrow eyes of the government as mentioned in the Chapter 2 of the bill. The drug abuse trend is gaining its momentum across the country at a very high speed, which is not only affecting the youths of the country, but also the life of their family and dependents. Firstly, cannabis and opium, which constitutes for about 2 crore consumers, is still illegally transported to the states of Jammu Kashmir, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Mizoram, etc. All they need is a bag full of bundle of notes on their faces, and you'll see how rapidly the work will be done. After all a person needs is money in the end, right? Secondly, there is a lack of infrastructure, shortage of trained personnel, and the use of darknet and cryptocurrency in illegal drugs have been increasing from 2020 onwards, reaching 1,117 cases. What are the policies introduced by the government to control this exacerbation?
Honorable Member, kindly wind up.
Yes, ma'am, just a minute. Thirdly, and the last point is that in the name of licitness, these activities aren't even reported to the district level. Or shall I say, these are kept reserved within the district level. So how will it even reach to the higher authorities? Is this how this government is ensuring community-wide vigilance? All I can say is that नए किरदार तो आते जा रहे हैं, मगर सियासत वही पुरानी चलती आ रही है. Thank you.
Mr. Alak Sahai, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Madam, for giving the opportunity to answer this question. मैं विपक्ष में बैठे हुए सभी युवा सांसदों को ये स्पष्ट करना चाहूंगा कि सियासत अपना चोला बदला है, राजनीति ने करवट ली है, पर समय और परिस्थिति को पहचानिए जनाब। हमारी सरकार की उपलब्धियों को बदनाम करने के बजाय कुछ रचनात्मक सुझाव देने का प्रयास करें। Coming back to the point, Madam, we acknowledge the critical issue of drug trafficking and are addressing it through a multifaceted strategy. We are boosting law enforcement, enhancing border management with advanced surveillance technologies such as drones and satellites, and collaborating with all the state governments as well as with international partners such as the USA, Afghanistan, United Nations offices on drugs and crime. Our efforts include awareness campaigns, helplines, online portals, and monitoring and dismantling the use of cryptocurrency and the darknet. National policies and rehabilitation programs like the Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act of 1985 and the Nasha Mukht Bharat Abhiyan guide us. We recognize the complexities of this issue and are committed to tackle this situation in every way possible.
Honorable Minister, please wind up. You're taking too much time.
30 seconds, Madam. Madam, in the end, I would like to say that our efforts will yield results, and we will overcome this challenge. Thank you.
Mr. Dhruv, please.
आदरणीय अध्यक्ष महोदया, मैं आपके माध्यम से माननीय मंत्री जी से कुछ प्रश्न पूछना चाहूंगा। पहला प्रश्न तो यह है कि इस बिल के चैप्टर नंबर 4 के अनुसार यदि कोई व्यक्ति बच्चों द्वारा नशीले पदार्थों की तस्करी करता है या बच्चों में नशीले पदार्थों का प्रचार करता है तो उसे ज्यादा से ज्यादा 10 से 15 सालों की सजा होगी। पर मैं ये जानना चाहता हूं कि क्या उन कई मासूम जानों की जिंदगियां बर्बाद करने के लिए ये 10 साल की सजा काफी है? आज नहीं तो कल ये लोग फिर बाहर निकलेंगे और जिंदगियां बर्बाद करने के लिए। आखिर सरकार की इन पर इतनी विशेष नरमी का क्या कारण है? महोदया, मैं आपके जरिए इस सभा के समक्ष आजीवन कारावास के संशोधन का प्रस्ताव रखना चाहूंगा। मेरा दूसरा प्रश्न यह है कि इस बिल में इस बात का भी उल्लेख है कि जुवेनाइल्स के लिए विशेष प्रकार के न्यायालयों का निर्माण किया जाएगा, पर जिस सरकार के अंतर्गत न्यायालयों में जजों का अभाव है, वकीलों और जजों के ऊपर इतना दबाव है, वही सरकार आखिर किस तरह इन नए न्यायालयों का निर्माण करेगी? अंत में मैं बस इतना कहना चाहूंगा कि मैं आशा करता हूं महोदया कि कम से कम आपकी उपस्थिति में ये अपने जवाब स्पष्टता पूर्वक देंगे। धन्यवाद।
Miss Shuddhi Bisht, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, through you, I would like to address that I appreciate the concerns raised by the opposition member, but first and foremost, the bill has firm stance against the drug distribution to adolescents. The bill ensures that those who are responsible for such horrors will face harsh consequences, like 10 years of imprisonment minimum for sale and drugs distribution to adolescents. We also have 15 years of imprisonment for drug trafficking. There are fines like 5 lakh and 10 lakh rupees, again minimum. And yes, I agree that the courts are overburdened, but we have special officers to enhance and monitor the functioning of the special courts. We are also appointing psychologists and counselors to avoid any kind of harsh treatment during the trials and in the juvenile. The bill's provisions are more than sufficient to address the gravity of this situation. Madam, the ruling party is fully committed in protecting our youth, our adolescents from the scourge of drugs. और आखिर में मैं बस यही बोलना चाहूँगी कि हम आप लोगों की तरह चीज़ों की कमी का हवाला नहीं देते हैं, बल्कि रास्ते ढूंढ के काम पूरा करते हैं। धन्यवाद।
Miss Swasti Shri, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, today I rise as a voice of those children who are thrown into the dark world of narcotics. This government prides itself on making so many laws, but I ask, are mere words enough? Don't be surprised, Madam, I will show you the ground reality. In Maharashtra, children as young as 10 were caught selling drugs on the roadside. Children in an orphanage were exposed to drugs, that too in a dry city of Ahmedabad. And this is not just an isolated case, no. In Delhi, Goa, Punjab, Maharashtra, you name it, it's there. What disturbs me the most, madam, is the treatment of these children. They are victims, but they are treated as hardcore criminals. Juveniles in Punjab were sent to so-called rehabilitation center where they were exposed to cruel and inhumane punishments. सरकार को फर्क पड़ता नहीं है, सरकार तो बस अपने प्रचार तंत्र में विश्वास करती है और कुछ नहीं.
Madam, please come to the point.
This is the point, madam. Leniency is shown to the real culprits. In Bangalore last year, a drug kingpin who was using children was released within weeks.
Honorable member, kindly wind up.
Yes, ma'am, but बोलने का हक तो हमें भी है, क्यों है ना? Was released within weeks. His release is a slap in the face of the justice system and encouragement to those who think they can do anything. And of course they can when this government acts as a blind bat. I demand to know, what is the government doing? What are their ministers doing? How is it still possible? Is the government itself involved? How can you be blind to pain of our children? बच्चों के हाथ में ये किताबें होनी चाहिए, नशे का जहर नहीं. क्या ये सरकार इलेक्शन के समय सिर्फ माइक पर चिल्लाना जानती है या सही में कुछ बदलाव ला भी सकती है? कब मिलेगा जवाब? कब देंगे जवाब?
Mr. Samyak, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, thank you for giving me this opportunity to tackle the baseless allegations made by the opposition member. ये दोहा तो आप सभी ने सुना ही होगा कि बुरा जो देखन मैं चला, बुरा ना मिलिया कोई, जो दिल खोजा आपना, मुझसे बुरा ना कोई. Suits appropriately to the stubborn and rigid opposition. The opposition member strongly claims to be the so-called voice of the young souls of our nation. But why this voice was shut during the drug crisis in Punjab in 2012 and 13? What do you have to say about this? Was that because during those days, opposition parties only were in the power in center as well as state governments? Such a hypocritical stand, but nothing new of us opposition. That is why they are not trusted by the people and are sitting over there and we are in the power. Madam Speaker, coming to the question raised, I would like to reiterate in this August House that all the provisions mentioned in the bill will be implemented strictly and will not just be on the table of the corrupt leaders like our opposition ones.
This will not go on record. I'll see the matter.
Apologies, Madam. The conditions of the rehabilitation center will be monitored strictly and this will be possible due to the interconnected network of rehabilitation center governed by the Central Drug Standard Control Organization. More specific details about the issue will be notified in the rules once the bill is passed. अंत में मेरा ये सवाल है कि काम तो आपकी सरकार भी कर सकती थी, इतना वक्त दिया था जनता ने आपको, फिर आज क्यों ये हालात है कि बच्चे जो कि भविष्य निर्माता है नशे की गर्त में डूबे हुए हैं? क्यों आपकी सरकार ने समय रहते इस समस्या का समाधान नहीं किया? बात करोगे तो दूर तलक जाएगी, बात करोगे तो दूर तलक जाएगी. जनता को मालूम है कि बदलाव तो यही सरकार लाएगी. अंत में मेरा विपक्ष से यही अनुरोध है कि वो अपनी इस तुच्छ और गंदी राजनीति से ऊपर उठकर इस बिल का समर्थन करें, बच्चों के भविष्य की चिंता करें. धन्यवाद.
Miss Aliza, please.
थैंक यू मैडम कि सत्ता में बैठे लोग कितने निर्मोही हैं, नशे की लत में आज हर युवा खोया है। जितने वादे किए थे सब छलावे निकले, देश की जड़ों में आज नशा गहराया है। Honorable members, while I do respect the sentiments behind this proposal, I strongly oppose it as well. While creating a separate and distinct bureaucracy around the child drug abuse, we risk labeling and isolating those affected, especially young people who need our support and understanding, not judgment. आपकी सरकार के कारणवश ड्रग्स की समस्या इतनी गंभीर हो चुकी है कि लगता है स्वास्थ्य नीति सिर्फ कागजों तक सीमित रह गई है। Through you, I would like to draw attention of the House about the policy failures of the government, that the party policies are ineffective and insufficient in addressing drug abuse due to internal corruption and improper allocations of funds. I would like to ask the Health Minister, how does she propose to ensure that the new structure will not foster stigmatization but will create an enabling environment to facilitate recovery instead? हम जानना चाहते हैं कि what plans does the minister have in addressing the problems underlying drug abuse like poverty and lack of opportunities rather than their symptoms. Thank you.
Honorable Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Ms. Shruti, please.
Though the question is welcomed, it remains baseless. Why? Honorable Speaker Madam, अगर हम इतिहास के पन्ने पलटे, we'll observe an uncanny trend of negative scrutiny against government welfare schemes. आज के प्रतिपक्ष सोशो इकोनॉमिक गरीब वर्ग के हिंदुस्तानियों का सच्चाई से दायरा बढ़ाने में कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ रहे मैडम। दिस इज अनएथिकल। भाई और बहनों, लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, घबराइए मत। हम आपके मन में वहम और भ्रम बिल्कुल भी पनपने नहीं देंगे। दिस इज आवर प्रॉमिस। थ्रू यू स्पीकर मैडम, वी इंट्रोड्यूस रूल्स सच एज द DCDO and the DCDAP in order to eliminate stigmatization of drug misuse amongst adolescents under the two-gear centralized and decentralized method. But again, our lovely opposition has a knack for making and misinterpreting all these works we've done for the welfare of the people. They think it is another red tape bureaucracy motion. No, I assure you, we assure you, it is not. Now, coming back to the two-gear system, the first focal point is to eliminate stigmatization through government camps and awareness drives under government authority. Second being the policy making of the 3AQ policy framework. What is the 3AQ? Quality, acceptability, accessibility, and availability not just fosters the need of my, yours, or my fellow parliamentarians. It fosters to every citizen of India, whether they live in the urban circumstances or the rural circumstances. Through you, Speaker Madam, I urge all these young parliamentarians to come together, forget about party alliances and affiliation, and come together to vote upon this bill very positively for the welfare of our own citizens. With this, I stand upon my stance. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Now, moving further with the voting procedure, Honorable Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker Madam, through you, I beg to move this bill for tabling and voting, please.
Motion moved. The question is that the bill to provide for more effective prevention, the Child Drug Abuse Mitigation Bill 2024, for matters connected therewith or incidental there to be taken into consideration. Those who are in favor will say aye. Those who are against it, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Clause by clause consideration. Now the question is that clause 2 to 10 stands part of the bill. There is one suggestion in clause 5 by the opposition. Mr. Dhruv, are you moving it?
No, ma'am. I'm satisfied with the answer of the concerned minister.
Now the question is that clause 2 to 10 stand part of the bill. Those who are in favor, please say aye. Those who are against it, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Clause 2 to 10 stand part of the bill. Now, the question is that clause, the enacting formula and the title stand part of the bill. Those who are in favor, please say aye. Those who are against it, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Honorable Minister, please.
Through you, Speaker Madam, I beg to move this bill for further voting and table.
Motion moved that the bill is passed. Those who are in favor, please say aye. Those who are against it, please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Now, the House is adjourned to meet again tomorrow at 11 p.m. Thank you.
इस समय युवा संसद के बाहर खड़ा हूं। आज संसद के मानसून सत्र में एक महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दे पर चर्चा की गई है जो हमारे समाज के लिए बेहद चिंताजनक है। मादक पदार्थों के दुरुपयोग की रोकथाम और उसके उन्मूलन के लिए पेश किया गया बिल। हमारे सूत्रों के अनुसार इस बिल को युवा संसद में भारी समर्थन प्राप्त हुआ है। कई युवा सांसदों का यह भी कहना है कि मादक पदार्थों के दुरुपयोग को रोकने के लिए न केवल सख्त कानूनों की बल्कि समाज में व्यापक जागरूकता फैलाने की भी आवश्यकता है। और जानकारी के लिए चलते हैं हमारी संवाददाता अनुष्का सिंह के पास। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Abhinav. Now, coming to the conclusion, the Youth Parliament's discussion on drug abuse underscored a major and unified need over this pressing issue by highlighting innovative prevention measures, advocating security systems, and emphasizing on the importance of education as well as awareness. The Youth Parliament has set a great deal of example for proactive engagement. As we move forward, it is highly essential that the communities, individuals, and the policymakers ensure that the solutions are passed and a healthier future is made for all. The insights and the recommendations shared today are a crucial step in overcoming the challenges of drug abuse and, most importantly, fostering a society where every single individual has the opportunity to thrive. Now, I, Anushka Singh, with cameraman Kavish, signing off. For more updates, stay with us on our channel, STS Youth Plus.